Hey, what's up, guys? It's T-Bone here. Welcome to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Hero in the live stream. And this time we're going to be doing some deck building, but I'm also going to be doing some trophy pushes at the same time. So I just wanted to welcome everybody to the chat, and hope you're having a good event. And hopefully the tip that I gave everybody in my last video on how to use the Grail mechanic has been helpful for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just go ahead and use up my keys right now. I do have some keys to use for my challenges, and so I'm going to talk about also at the same time like what I do in commander events, just in general how I use my keys, where I choose to actually spend them, and where I get my keys from. So you can see that I haven't pushed my maps in quite a few events now. And so the reason I do that is because I just feel like I rather use my keys, my 5 keys on the challenges rather than spend them on the, on the 2, 3, 4 key maps. And I mean, I'm probably losing a little bit of the first time clear bonus for these maps, but I just kind of like, spending the 1 key on the first map and then just kind of focus the rest of my keys on the challenges there. So anyways, so here is the challenges here, and honestly, like challenge level 1, and it's also pretty easy, and so that's why I kind of choose to do this. It just saves me a little bit of time when I'm playing through, but right now just using this team, so I don't actually spend a lot of time doing the full Grail mechanic here, because with this team I can actually go through the first 2 waves pretty easily, and so I'm just gonna show you what I do here. So with this particular team, and sometimes depending on the boss too, for me anyways, I'm using the Sky Swarm Kachina. And you can see that it is able to, it has the Noble Killer, so it does deal more damage against honor heroes such as this one. So the way I'm playing here, also, I do want to make sure that I use the support cards so that I do generate a little bit of Grail, and also by doing that, and with the relics that I have in place, I can also generate some nice connections there, and so I'm able to go through the first 2 waves pretty easily with this setup. If you're running something similar, you probably already have that. And at this point, this is where I then choose to take a little bit of time, and I do want my Grail to expire. So I think some people have mentioned that there is potentially a bug here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this out. So the bug that they've talked about is when there's 1 more turn remaining before Grail expires, if you use the skill of your event hero or your master collection card, then the next turn the Grail seems to not work. So let's see if that's still the case here. So we would expect this to work right here, but for me it looks like I got my power gems created. So I guess it's hard to say exactly what conditions will cause that to repeat, but at least it didn't happen for me this time. And so the nice thing about the combination of Hippolyta and Sky Swarm Kachina, I didn't talk about this in my last video, is that she will actually do a turn delay, and that also powers up my my Kachina. So I can really use this this whole team just works really well together. I really enjoy having having the cards work together. And so just taking a look at the chat, so just saying hi to Alpha Omelet and Kiko and Tame Bias, as well as Catherine McIntyre. Welcome to the chat. So hey, also first time joining the live, so thank you very much for joining, and welcome. Hopefully this is going to be a good good stream for you. And Catherine, so which relics are you using? So I will take a look at. I'll show you what relics I'm using here. So the relics I'm using right now, I'm using 3 God relics, and I'm using 2 Earth Commander relics for this particular team. So I started with having just this one, but then because of the starter pack that gave me 2 relics, this is mainly what I'm using. And I'm using that because Sky Swarm is a God card, so it also powers up my Master Collection card, which is really nice. Another option I could run with is also a relic that boosts honor heroes, because these are honor cards, so you can also use that as well. It's just that I use this so I can get more power gems. So let's see, and we also got Gabor Pinter and Surf Carly using 2 teams mix and event Tia. I guess you're giving me your in-game name. Okay, so we can also go through and do some deck building. That is the purpose of this stream as well. So what I like to do is I'm gonna go back and forth this time. So I'm going to go through a couple of decks and go through a couple of decks for people, and we can talk about what potential decks you could be using. I can also give you some tips and tricks, and I'm going to continue to push a little bit on my legend bosses, as well as my overkill and ultra kill. So I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about how we go through these bosses, and how do we get the most trophies for our using our cards. So the first one I'm going to look at is, let's see. So first, let's go ahead and claim the Hellboy tokens, and then let's take a look. So Surf Carly. And remember, if I'm going to go to your cards and take a look at your teams, if you have some really cool and original names, I'm gonna take a look, and at the end of the stream, let's vote on which one we like the best. Again, there's no pressure here, and really let's keep it respectful and just having some fun here. So let's see. So you would like to take a look at the mix and event card, the mix and event team. So that will be these two. All right. So let's take a look here. So it looks like you are using a Barca, which is a good choice because this card will give you the power gems, and you're using Sky Swarm's Kachina to power it up. I can't see anything wrong with that, except I don't know if you're going to be able to use the North Star Chakram, because this will work only against Slayer cards. So you're only going to get one Earth gem, because you only have one Slayer card in here, and you only get a Power Gem 3 if a Spirit is on the team. Now, these are all God. So what you see is Honored, God, and Giant Heroes. So I would actually replace this Relic. So this Relic isn't actually doing anything for you, and so I would take that out so you can deal a little bit more damage. The Giant Relic is fine. And let's see here. So you've got also a Snapdragon Staff, which also targets Earth Slayer heroes, but it only works if you have, let's see what, as long as, let's see, creates a Power Gen 3 as long as an Ancient is on the team. So you have two relics here that power up Slayer cards, but the problem here is you're only getting one gem each on turn 1, and you're not getting a power gem, and you're not really boosting a lot of the other cards. You kind of want to actually try to boost your other commander cards if possible. So let's take a look instead of the cards. Let's take a look at your gear. And so the first thing is, I'm assuming you're already using all of your Earth Commander, and I think I saw that. So then if you take a look at Honor, you will actually deal more damage if you use the Buzzsaw, for example. Now, you're not going to get the Earth Gems in the first turn, but you're going to power up 3 of your cards that have also the empowerments. You're going to deal more damage overall, so that's one option. And then the other option is, if you take a look at the gears, looking at what you have right now, you have a 5-star Dogen's Axe. This will also do a really good job in general because you're increasing attack by scale, and you're also going to add more health overall. So this is another option I would go with. So basically what you're looking at is, use Dogen's Axe, or you can use a just a regular saber, if you will. And so let's take a look to see if you have any sabers powered up. So I see one here. So your Exultant Saber, level 14 Exultant Saber, will actually do better than these 2 relics here. So that's what I will go with. And obviously, if you can level up your 5-star axe, then that will do well. And your other one is the event. So I see that you also have your Earth Scepter. So I talked about the Scepter in my last video, and this is the one where you will get more heal, because you're increasing the recovery, and the more you can level this up, the better effect you'll see. And this only works if your Grail amount is high enough. And so again, same thing here. I would recommend that you take off these 2 relics so you can deal more damage. But overall, the cards themselves look good. These are the same cards I'm running, so I'm sure you're doing well. You have Evergreen here. I think that is for the purpose of getting more power gems, so I can see that. But I just want to take a look at what your Earth Commanders look like. So I would actually put in Masawu. Okay, so I would put in the Masawu Warrior Guard card, because this card will also give you power gems. So you can do the same thing here. This will create 4 power gems, or you can put in Reforged, Reforged Hippolyta. You are going to see better damage overall if you replace Evergreen Evelyn. So that would be my recommendation. And I'm just looking up right now, and I see a lot more chats here. So just gonna take a minute to say hello. So Chris Fan and Brent, Gary, as well as Taman and Duppy, Ruben Stock, and that's everybody. So welcome to the chat. We just did. So what I did so far is I did one challenge level, and I'm doing one. I'm doing one level, one player. And what I'm gonna do today, I'm just gonna do a little bit. I'm going to switch back and forth a little bit. So I'm going to go and do a fight right now against a legend boss, because I do need to also push it up. And I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of talk about what I do as well. So if you don't mind, I'm still going to take a look at your cards. I'm just going to, do some fights as well. So for this one, I'm going to use this event. And now at level 250, it's still not too bad. I think at about level 280 or so is when the boss's debuff level goes up to level 5, and so sometimes you may not be able to dispel. And so the boss I'm doing right now is Sparing the Lost. So this one casts Judgment. So the way Judgment works is when you heal, you're actually going to take damage instead. So of course, with the Grail mechanic here, you're doing heals every single turn, and so what you'll notice is if you can't dispel Judgment, you'll see that your health actually goes down. You get attacked, and you heal for a little bit, and then you get damaged a little bit. So it's one of those things where if you don't, if you can't dispel it, it can kind of cause problems as well. Another one that's really bad is Zombie. Zombie is another one that's really, really terrible, as well as a Toxin. So this deck actually has a lot of weaknesses. So like in my last video, I talked about the strengths of the deck, but what I didn't talk about also is the weakness of the deck. So one of the things with this deck is if you are hit by the following debuffs, you will actually not be able to get it to work. One of them is Toxin. So Toxin completely blocks any skills that heal. And so because this card will actually, so here's Judgment, so you can see what's going on. So luckily though, I'm at 15. So I will have to try this, and I'm actually saying this, but as I'm saying this now, I'm not sure if this is exactly true, but Toxin completely blocks heal skills. And what happens is this card heals, but it's really the Grail that's healing. So I'm not sure if this applies, but I would assume it does. So, Toxin will block it, as well as, Toxin wouldn't block it, but Toxin would cause problems. And Zombie is going to cause problems. Gem Silence is also going to cause a problem because this card generates gems. And so all of these things, what happens is like, if any of the debuffs block any part of your skill, your entire skill doesn't work. And so that's just something to keep in mind. A lot of people usually have some questions and are confused about it. So I just thought I'll take this opportunity and explain that a little bit. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go back and take a look at the chat here and just make sure I haven't missed anyone. And of course, I will go into, this time I remember, so Chaplain, Alice Oxy. And let's take a look to see what you're running with here. And so I see, so yeah, so let me like, if you're running any combination of the current event cards and the last commander event cards, you are sitting solid, right? Okay. And Reforged Hippolyta is a really, really good card. So the way you can get this card is available in the Dust Job. I'll talk about what that means. And what she does is she can increase her attack, but mainly it's her turn counter. And her turn counter, turn counter increasement, basically the turn delay, really works really well with Sky Swarm Kachina. So I'm just gonna take a look at the other Earth Commander cards you have. Like, this is probably one of those events where I would expect to see very similarly built decks, and I'm not, I'm sure that they're all going to be really powerful and do really well. And so I think running 2 supports. Now, the reason why I'm saying like you should run 2 supports is not because you're going to heal better or you're going to get more power gems, but because having 2 support cards will increase your Grail amount faster. You're going up by 2. If you would like your heals to be better, I would actually recommend you use 2 Kokopelli. Okay, so in this case, instead of using Reforged Hippolyta, you could actually add in. I would add in the Kokopelli here. So your heal is going to be boosted by the scepter here. So give it a try, but I don't think you need to. Like, I think that running this team is going to be perfectly fine because you also have Masawu, who will also create power gems, and you're going to deal better damage overall. So good deck, good team. And I think that I'm really excited just because this event seems like, it's the perfect event for low spend or free to play players to have a really good deck that's like, similar or better than what I could build myself. And so I'm hoping that you guys can do really well in your respective events. All right, so let's take a look. So I'm Kiko. I will check yours if you don't mind. I guess what you're saying is that is also your in-game name. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. So I'm Kiko. So let's take a look and see what you've got. Well, you've got a pretty nice collection right there. I see you have 3 ultimate forms here. Let's see. So you've got Emerald Knights and Test, and more Test. Test Run. Those are the 3 teams I see. And then you have also the Earth Slayer deck. Okay. So let's take a look and see which one might be the one that you will be running with. I'll take a look here and I see this one with the Sky Swarms, Kachina, is obviously a really good one. And so I like what you're doing here. So you're using the Matriarch Spear as well as Jinxing Wand to power up both the Honor as well as the God cards in your deck. Clairvoyant Blade, also for God. And then you've got the 2 Earth Commander relics. So that's really good. And I guess, the only thing is getting enough of the... Do you know where to get the catalyst to power up any old relics? I'll also use the opportunity to talk about it in a few minutes. So I'm Kiko. I'm just gonna say that I like your card here, and also using the mummy. Now I tried using the mummy. So with this particular deck, I tried using the mummy against a ultra kill boss, and what I noticed is that losing 1/5 of the overall damage there actually ended up hurting my chance of getting 500% overkill. However, this also is a very good card to just power up your team in general. I think that what happens is because I'm already getting 15 Power Gem 3s, plus Skyworm is giving me Power Gem 4s, and then I have a few more Power Gems from my relics, I actually didn't notice a huge increase of my damage overall from the team's perspective. And so this is one of those cases where I think it's a good option, but play around and see what you think. I find that it's a good option for Power Gem creators. So like if you don't have Skyworm Kachina, for example, putting the mummy in there is definitely a great choice. So that's my recommendation. So, and then I see you're also using Sugar Sniper. So I think Sugar Sniper is what she does is she actually will remove gems every turn, and she does a little heal. I think in this case, this is probably just a test here because I'm seeing a combination of different Slayer and Commanders. So I'm not really gonna, I think you have better decks here, and that would be this and this right here. So now that we've talked about it, I'm gonna show you where you can upgrade your relics, because one of the things that you wanna do is you wanna be able to upgrade relics, and it's available in the, let's see, it's in here, in the home page. So let's go to the gear dungeon. And this is where, if you go to the gear dungeon, this is where you could get the catalyst for your missing relic. And in this case, let's just take a look to see for your clairvoyant. Oh, so I think this is also dark. I thought that there is no I guess there is a schedule still. So Mondays is light and Tuesday is Earth. So I guess unfortunately you will not be able to upgrade your Earth relics until Tuesday, but on Tuesday what you can do is you can then get the catalyst needed for your clairvoyant blade. And so what you want to do is just take do the fight here, and you can collect the gear dungeon tokens, and then make sure that you use that to upgrade your relics. All right. And so let's take a look. And while playing live, can you change my orientation vertical to full screen? So Brent Cal, I will be able to do that, but not this stream. So one of the reasons I did it this way, and I've been doing this for a while now, is so that when you view it on the mobile devices, it'll actually pop up as a full screen as well. I am thinking about changing it up a little bit so that it can be horizontal landscape. So let me know what your thoughts are. But for this stream, unfortunately, I won't be able to do it. But I'll think about that. So I think what you're saying is for the live stream, do this. To this one to full screen instead of the vertical one. I can definitely think about that more. Okay, so thanks for the feedback there. And Gary Royal, just wanted to give you a shout out. I'm rocking this van thanks to you. Hey, that's great. That's what I wanted to hear. That's why I did the video yesterday, so that I can hopefully get that information out as early as possible. And so I'm just going to take a few minutes and take a look at the chat right now just to see what I've missed. And I'm also going to go back and do some fights at the same time. So let's just take a look to see, make sure I haven't missed any questions. So Duppy, I will take a look at your cards in a minute. And then Ruben Stock, Fighter Rust, I will do that next. And then, okay. So it looks like mostly requests for looking at the decks. That's fine. And what we'll do is go back and do that. But first, I'm going to do a couple of fights because I do want to push my legend boss a little bit. Now, this time I'm going to use my other deck, which just, actually doesn't need... You can sort of compare and see the difference here. So this one doesn't use the scepter. And you can sort of see the difference in the heal, especially as the boss level is going a little bit higher. But I am going to be doing a little bit more damage with this team. So what I don't have here is I don't have Kokopelli and I don't have a scepter. And so my heal is going to be lower than normal. And I didn't actually dispel Judgment. And so what I'm going to be dealing with right now is some damages that I'm going to be getting. So you'll see after I do my attack, then as I try to heal, I actually get damaged there. So that is unfortunate, and it lasts for a couple of turns there, so I'm going to get damaged again. So I do need to try and find a way to get my heal if possible. And because I got distracted there, I actually didn't use my battle skill there. So let's take a look. Let's go quickly here. And the lag sometimes that I experience is kind of bad here. All right, so I'm going to heal a little bit now, and I'm also going to use my... what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this opportunity and do this. So what I'm doing is as I do my heart gem matches, I'm also going to... I also did a gem swap so that I could also... just increase my overall heal a little bit. Man, so this is, see how bad this one is? So this is without any of the heal in place, and I am also not able to dispel my Judgment. So you can see just how much different the experience really is here. And so I'm going to have to go back to my other team, and because I'm using just one key here. So you can sort of see this is the reason why I put in the relic, the scepter in the relic. So this right here, the combination of me not being able to dispel Judgment and also not healing as much as normally with the team, like with Kokopelli as well as the scepter in there, you can see how big of a difference it really was, right? Just, this way you don't have to waste your keys. Just take a look here and, you can see for yourself, this is the reason why I did that. And let's see. So going back, the person that I remember I saw was Duppy. So let's take a look at Duppy's cards, and then we will move on to the next person. So Duppy Conqueror, I believe. Conqueror with an O. And then the next person is going to be Too Excellent in Game. So these are going, so I'm going to see Too Excellent in Game and Duppy Conqueror and also Fighter Rust. These are the three I'm going to take a look at. And so Undying Green Knight at 5 stars. Let's see, I don't remember the stats here. So it also creates Power Gem once. And so it's going to be, what I'm seeing is the meta right now is 2 support cards, so that's good. And again, so I'm seeing a card that powers up Ancient, and I don't see an Ancient on the team. So one of the main things you want to do when you look at relics is you want to make sure that you are not you're benefiting from the relic rather than the not. So like Sweet Tooth, for example, only powers up Corrupt, so you're not going to get Earth Gems created at the beginning of the turn, and you're not getting any damage boost, and you're not going to get a power gem. Then Druid Staff, same thing, because you don't have any Ancients on the team, you're not going to get any boost there either. So the Ceremonial Mask will work, and then the Great Axe of Camelot will work as well. So you have Doujin's Axe, which is good. So then, so what I'll do instead is I'm going to take a look at your gear, and basically, so the first thing I want to look at to see is if you have any God Relic. So you do have a God Relic. I would rather put that in. So you should put that in instead. And then the other one would be Honor. So let's take a look to see if you have any, I'm sorry, I should be looking at your collection gear. Then the other one is to take a look at your Honor Relic. And I don't see any Honor Relics. So instead, what I would say is, in this case, I would rather see you using Doujin's Axe. So I would put in the Doujin's Axe as well as the Clairvoyant Blade in place of your Sweet Tooth and your Druid Staff. You're going to get a little bit more gems in the beginning, and you're going to see more damage overall as well. And so that would be my recommendation for you. All right, so give that a try and see how it goes. Now I'm going to take a look at Gary Royal here. Two excellent with 1L, right? 2EXCLENT. And let's take a look. So one of the themes I'm noticing here as I'm working through this with you guys is that this particular event team is much easier to build compared to previous ones. And so what I'm noticing is more on the relics. So hopefully this time around I can sort of give you guys enough tips and tricks and hints to help you also build your team a little better by looking at the relics. So let's take a look and see what you got going on here. So I see Waterproof, that is a Slayer team. And here is your command test. So you got a Master Collection card, so that's really great. And 2 support cards, Undying Green Knight. And so Sailor Firm Root will create 12 gems because of Dame's skill. So Dame right now will create 4 Power Gem 4s, and then if you have 5 stacks of Grail, it will also create in the next turn as well. So Sailor is a good choice here. And I'm seeing you have so you have the Exultant Cane. Now I'm assuming that you probably don't necessarily have all of the catalysts to create a Earth Scepter. So if you don't, that's okay. But it's just that the amount of recovery you receive is going to be a little bit low. Like you're going to get much more because you have it powered up quite a bit at level 31. So I wouldn't rush to create the Scepter necessarily. I would say this seems good. And now you may not need this though. So you have the Exultant Targa, which increases your team health. But I would say that because you're running with 2, I guess because you don't have Kokopelli, but you do have a relic here. So let's take a look and see what you've got in terms of your heroes. Let's take a look right now. And so you've got Guru Pachysep, except it's only at 5 stars. So Guru Pachysep also heals, but at 1 star is not going to be as effective. You got Minora's Prodigy, which is a gem destroyer. So this will actually destroy gems. This is a good card. The way this would work is when all of your power gems, like 15 power gems get created, and then you use this skill, then you'll get the power gems lined up and you'll be able to deal some good damage there. So let's see. So yeah, I think this is a good choice. And I'm assuming that you're putting Targa in there because of the health issue. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a good setup right now. So I wouldn't change that. And then finally, the last one is, I believe, Fighter Rust. So let's take a look here. And then I'm going to go back to my fight because I wasted a key on a solo legend boss. I do want to make sure I go back and take it out. So this is a similar team here, except you have Masawu here. And again, same thing. I'm seeing a Cane, Doujin's Axe, and then the relics look good. And let's just take a look to see if there's another team that you might be running, and then we can take a look at your collection. So honestly, I feel like this is going to be a less time-consuming type of deck building exercise because I think everybody's pretty much got similar ideas, which is awesome. The whole point here is that the more information flow we have, the better we can help each other out. And so let's see. So you're using Satyr root. One thing I am considering, one thing I'm kind of curious about is, have you tried using this card? So Armor Tank Orectes is a commander card, so you get a little bit additional damage bonus. And you also get 3 Earth Power Gem 4s. So you're creating 3 Power Gem 4s instead of 12 Power Gem 1s. But you have 2 copies of the support card, which will also create Earth Gems. So one of the things you might notice is that with this particular setup, you basically get more Power Gems than you know what to do with anyway. And so I'm curious if putting in the Orectes in place of Satyr, the farm root, might actually net you a little bit more. Damage. It'll also definitely give you more health, just because by putting in the Orectes, you're going to get a little bit more health. So that is the only thing that I could think of that might increase your damage a little bit. But again, it's all about your playstyle and whether or not you want to give it a try. I would recommend trying it against the guild boss so that you don't waste keys, or try against the event. Campaign. Like sometimes if I don't want to waste keys, I would just fight against a go up against a campaign level and then try it out. All right, so let's go back and do this. So after the spectacular failure in my last attempt at a boss, so you can sort of see like how different that experience was. Now let's see. We are at level 255, so I think this now will be doing the debuff at level 5. So my dispel is at level 6, and you can see there it's not a guarantee anymore. And so with judgment being, getting hit by judgment is a big deal. You can see, especially with 1 key, right? And so let's see. While I'm doing this, I'm going to take a look at the questions, if there's any. So what do you guys think about the events so far? Like compared to previous events, is I personally am having fun here. Just I think, being able to smash the bosses easily with a very, very cheap team. I mean, like this team right here that I've built, including the relic that I got this just today, cost me a total of 1,900 gems and 1,990 gems because of the discounts that took place. So I was kind of joking around saying like, hey, I got my team yesterday with all the relics for 990 gems. It felt like a real sale. I was able to get it for less than 1,000 gems, which was really great. And so you can see here, like the health increase is significantly better because of Kokopelli and because of my scepter here. And so at this point, I'm less worried about being hit by judgment at this point. And so now I can just focus on building on my power gems as well as waiting for my grail to expire. So let's just go ahead and do that. Now, one of the things I try to do here as well is I need to try and get my Earth Gem drops to be about 12. So if I can get 12 Earth Gems on the board, then I can also get more Power Gems to be spawned by the relics. But unfortunately, in this particular case, it didn't work for me because I actually match those Earth Gems by accident. But that's sort of the goal here. Like during the time when you're waiting for your grail to expire, just use that chance and practice how you can actually get more Earth Gems, Power Gems to be spawned from your relics. So that's what I would recommend. Practicing that will always help net you more damage. Sometimes that makes a difference between getting an overkill and not an overkill. All right, so let's see here. We got Be Like Billy and Lee Scott. So sorry if I'm really behind on the comments here. I'm just catching up here. And so I see Conan Beastmaster. I'll definitely take a look there. And Gil Salducci, welcome to the stream. And so we've got Baroness Esmita Drift. I think I'm going to try and I'll take a look at yours since I haven't seen you in the stream before. So I'm going to take a look at that now. I do want to make sure that people that are here not regularly or just being here, here for the first time, I do want to make sure that they get a chance to get checked out here. So I am just going to skip a little bit. And Baroness Esmita Drift. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards here. And what I'm doing here in Sleepless, hello and welcome to the stream. Paul Morrison, welcome. And let's see. So if you're looking at deck for some recommendations, Princess Frozen Heart. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to lose my place of all the players that all the people that have requested for a team. So right now we're looking at Baroness Esmida Drift, and since this deck is exactly the same as mine in terms of the cards themselves, anyway, I would say I can't see anything wrong with it. Now I see that you are using a honor relic here, so you might actually do a little bit better. So the interesting trade-off here is that let's see, so you have earth and honor. Let's take a quick look at your honor relics here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of taking a look to see what else we could do. And so yeah, so that's what I see. Now here's the thing, right? I do see that you have a 5-star Dojin's Axe. So Dojin's Axe will do the following. It will increase your overall attack by 9.8. So let's say 10%, and it'll increase your attack by 612. And if you take a look at your honor relic, what you've got here is the relic itself is at level 10, so it will increase attack of all your applicable heroes by 1089, but it doesn't create any power gems either. So 1099, and what we were looking at earlier was a flat increase of 612 plus another 10%. So if you take a look at your team right now of your health, I would say that so probably is going to be, you're probably going to get a little bit more, let's see, 4, 4, 8, that's 13, and then that's another 4, 17, and 23. So you're going to net a little bit more damage from the honor relic. But the Dojin Axe at 6 stars will definitely outdo this, but you are going to get a little bit more heal because your Dojin's Axe will apply to everyone. And so that's sort of the only thing I would say, because you already have enough relics in the beginning that you don't really need to worry about turn 1. But switch it off and take a look and see how that works out. Otherwise, your team can't complain about it at all. All right. And let's see. So we've got Conan Beastmaster. And while I'm here, if you guys can, just kind of put it in the chat or in the comment as well in the videos, let me know what kind of information you find helpful. So I think that because I was able to come out with a tip for a team that worked really well, what I'm seeing is this particular event, I'm already seeing everybody using very similar teams here, but my hope is that we can always do this in future events. So let me know how I can help. Is having that short videos sort of in between streams, is that something that you like to see? Like the really short 5 to 6 minute videos. Like how do you guys like those? How helpful do you find them? And what else would you like to see more? All right, so let's take a look here. And I am actively trying to get my Master Collection card if I can. I can craft 1 room. So we'll see how I do there. And okay, again, this is a pretty reasonable team here. Looking at the team right now, so I'm just gonna see what other cards you've got. I mean, I can't imagine it being much better than what I can do. So if so I'm not gonna spend, in these cases, I'm probably not going to be able to spend a ton of time on it, just because just looking at the cards, I can already tell that you've got the best setup possible. This one is an interesting choice as well. So Gretel Sniping Falconer will also, destroy all non-earth gems and create earth power gem 4s based on corrupt intensity. And so with your deck and having Sky Swarm and Dame Ragnell, and also having the Grail, it has close to so many power gen 4s already. I'm not even sure that's going to be that much better because you're losing the gen 3 attack. So I feel like, yeah, this is probably the team I would go with too. Like I wouldn't switch any of the cards out for the other cards. So I mean, you're probably doing pretty well already. So then really I guess the question to you guys is, how are you doing the event? Like with the decks I'm seeing right now, like I can't really see anything that I would do much better. And so the question is, is there something, like how are you finding your bosses? Are you having issues with this? So let's take this opportunity and also talk about like how we can play the deck a little bit better, right? Because, what I'm seeing right now really is I'm not seeing anything that I find to be, really needing a lot of improvements. Mostly it's the relics. Okay. So Princess Frozen Hearts. Yeah, did I see another one? Deep Man 23. That is so Deep Man 23, and then I'll take a look at Princess Frozen Heart afterwards. Okay. And deck of ice. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna take a look at the comments here. So Teresa, if you have time, can you look at the deck? Okay, Baby Lena 2018. I will definitely do that as well. And Mount Fillmore, welcome. I just seeing your name for the first time here. And so Dark Summoner or Oriana, I will do that. Okay, and Joshua Davis, Robin Frost. I'm just slowly catching up to the chat. I'm so behind. So after this, I'm going to quickly catch up. Okay, I promise I'll catch up to the chat. Okay, and so Deep Man 23. So you have Winged Death, which I think will actually create. Okay, so this one creates Earth Gems. And so if I were to say, is there anything that we can do differently? This will be the card I want to take a look at. And I want to make sure that I understand your sort of card, the cards that you have. And so, okay, so you got Winged Death and you got 5-star Athena, which is a commander bounty as well. Okay. So I think that given what you've got, you may not even need Winged Death. And since it's a 5-star card, Dojin doesn't really do anything. Dojin, unfortunately, at that's unascended isn't too helpful. If it's ascended, at least it will create some power gems. But you do have a Bramaton. So a Bramaton and Eleanor actually will be a better choice for you in this case, because you can use its nuke damage, and every time you nuke, it'll also create a power gem. So whenever you use his battle skill, this is a level 5 card, you will also then create a power gem. So, and it's also a 10 times commander bonus. So I would take out your 5-star Winged Death and replace it with a 5-star Bramaton. It's not 10 times, would be a 7 times commander bonus, but it's going to be better. And then with that, you'll want to take out the Earth. Well, you have the Earth Arrow. I'm assuming that could get you one additional power gem, but I would recommend taking out the Snapdragon Staff, just because, like I said, it is a relic that only boosts Slayer cards, and you're not really gaining anything from that. So that's what it would do. Okay, and so Princess Frozen Heart is next. Then after that, I'm going to catch up to the chat. Princess Frozen Heart. Okay, and interesting. So I'm seeing you're using the Goblin Jockey, which will create power gems as well. So there's a power gem spawner for you, and so I mean, I don't mind that at all. I just wanted to take a look and see what other options you might have, in case that there might be a different option. So what I see is you have another copy of the Undying Green Knight. I almost feel like I might like that a little bit better. Will I? So maybe not, because I think what you're losing is 4 of the commander bonus, but or 7 bonus here, but really you're gaining a ton more power gems. So I feel like this is actually a pretty good choice, and I think you're getting 6 power gem 2s. Okay, and then if you get hit, all right. So I take my words back. This is definitely a really good choice. I think what you want to do is 1 turn before your Grail ends. Then that's when you'll want to. Oh man, Yeah, one turn before Grail ends, then go ahead and activate this, so then you can get hit the very next turn and then get a bunch of power gems spawned and basically take down the boss easily. So yeah, you got a good deck, and I like this idea. I really like you putting the Goblin Jockey in there, so good job there. All right, I'm going to skip ahead, take a look to see what I missed here, and I'm going to go back and take a look at who else I might need to take a look at for the decks here. So Robin Frost, take a look and trying a few combinations. So Nosdormu, okay, I will take a look a little bit later, and let's just make sure that I don't miss anyone. So Jerry Dixon, again, another name I haven't seen, so welcome to the chat. Maybe you have spoken about it already, but what is the best approach to max points in commander events, key spending, etc.? Yeah, I actually do want to talk about that, so I'll cover that after this, because I'm going to go back and take a look at my my overkill boss. And let's see. So yeah, really enjoying this deck. Me too. I really like this deck right now. And Duppy have to go. Okay, so thanks for joining. And Yasmin, welcome to the chat here. And Chroma Sucks, just got in here. Am I too late for a quick deck peek? I would say no. I'm gonna definitely take a look and check it out if I have a chance. And Matthew Cook, welcome. So let's see. And yeah, and for the people that I did help, one of the things that will really help me out is if you comment back below or in the video, in the comment section, just let me know your experience afterwards. Like, how did it help? Did you do something different? Did you go back and change what we talked about? Something that it will help me as well. Like, I don't want to assume I'm always right. These again are just my personal opinions and personal thoughts. And what I really encourage is to just share my thoughts with you. And then if you find something better, awesome. I would love to learn and find out more about that as well. Okay, and so. And so Tamara, I appreciate the support. I know the timing isn't always great for everybody, so I'm experimenting as well. And, doing a combination of both short and long videos. So hopefully this will work out for people as well. And Lee Scott, doing a setup with Gretchen and ended up being less because of, yeah. So one of the things I find is with using a generation 2 cards now, it deals a little bit less damage. And if you're trying to get overkill, then it becomes more of an issue. It's more of an issue for Commander than it is for Slayer, because in Slayers you don't care about overkill, but in a Commander you do. So that's the only thing to think about. All right, so let's see. So Joshua, you're opting out of the event, or overall like your video. So thanks very much, and I appreciate the support here. And all right, and so it looks like I'm caught up here, and so I'm gonna go back, and first thing I'm gonna do is talk about what I do with my keys, right? So I don't have VIP, and so one of the things that you want to do, which I didn't do very well, is make sure that I always collect my keys every 4 hours. So that's the first thing you want to do. And the tip here is, if you see that your key generation is already at 4, pay attention to the time remaining. So if you kind of wait a little bit, it'll tell you how much longer it is for your next key replenishment. So in this case, if it was 4 keys and I only have 13 minutes before it goes to 5, I would have waited, because I wouldn't want to go over 5 and then lose that 55 or 45 minutes of progress there. And then so the other thing I do here is, when you do boss fight, the square keys are the keys that are going to be used for your overkill, and the diamond keys are the ones that you use for the ultra kill. And so what I do is I typically push my solo legend bosses using my square keys. The reason I do that is because eventually I use up 9 keys every time I hit a ultra kill boss, and it kind of evens out in the end. And so for me, it's always about doing 1 key kills. And when I can't, then it's a common. Then that's when I have to decide: do I use 3 keys to take out the boss, or do I use 2 keys? Meaning, like, I do 2 fights. And a lot of times what I do is I actually choose to do 2 fights, because it saves me 1 key overall. And and so I net more trophies in that approach, especially if I can get at least 50% overkill using, if I can do 50% overkill with 1 or 2 keys, I missed that, then that's the sort of choice I would go. Like, I sort of use my 3 key hits only if I find that I don't have enough time, or if I'm just really impatient with pushing the bosses. But generally, I always try to go with 1 key as much as possible. And then if I can't kill the boss in 1 shot, or if I find I can't kill the boss with enough overkill, what I do is I would use one key, and sometimes what I do is I use one key to take it down as much as I could, and then the second attack go with the full overkill. And what you benefit, how you can benefit from that is you get better trophy count, and also it takes then less of these bosses to actually spawn your overkill or your ultra kill. So it kind of works out in that way. So that's my personal way of playing it. All right, so let's take a look here. So with an overkill, you have to get 200% bonus. And so what I'm gonna do is I think it started with 8, and with this it's not a problem. So now I've just gotta wait for my grail to expire, and also again gonna try and get my earth gems to drop if I can help it, but not sure if this is gonna help. Yeah, so that it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get enough power gems here anyways. And so the thing here is, if you don't get 100% overkill on the overkill bosses, you will only increase your ultra kill meter by 1. They had this change a while ago where if you can get 100% overkill, you actually increase your sort of that meter by 2 slots at a time. So you can notice now I've spawned my ultra kill. So I'm just going to go ahead and take out the ultra kill. And unfortunately with this particular setup, I'm going to change this to this one because I want to have more power gems here. And so let's take a look and see here. Now this was Joan of Arc. I would have been able to deal a little bit more damage with my Sky Swarm Kachina, but as it is, I'm probably not going to get 500% overkill, but let's take a look. So one of the tricks here is I know, actually, I should do that. I know pretty much I'm not going to get 100% overkill, 500% overkill with this setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do 2 attacks, but I have to be a little bit careful. I don't want to actually deal so much damage that I kill the boss right now. And so I think what I'm going to do is I haven't experienced enough. I don't know. I'm going to just use 4 for now and see how much damage I do, and I can learn for next time. So I'm actually going to let my grail expire right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it expire, so I create 4 power gem 4s here, and then I'm going to create all of these power gems, and I'm going to fill up the board, and I hope, beyond hope, that I don't kill the boss right now. And we'll see how much damage this does. And so the goal is to take this down to close to 0 and not take it out. So even with that was way too much. So that was a fail on my part, and you can see I completely missed it. And we can sort of take a look and see. So I dealt a total of 71 billion, and what I could have done is I think I didn't need to use either my Hippolyta or my headless Green Knight. And so with that, I would have dealt less damage. So you can see I dealt way too much damage, and I didn't do what I was hoping to do, because what I wanted to do was actually take it down low enough so I can go up for the big attack and then get the overkill. So I'll try that again next time. So just I rather learn this 2 days, 1 day into the event rather than later on. But now you know. And let's take a look to see what else I might be missing here in the chat here. So let's see. Is there anything? So Alex just started the game in 18 days. Hey, welcome to the game. And let's see. So we got to change the honor relic for Dojin, saw the difference. Okay, so that's good. So using the Dojin's axe did change your damage, so that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And Yasmu Lo, welcome, just seeing your name here as well. So okay, so no more new comments. That's good. I'm mostly caught up. There's a couple of names that I missed here, so I'm gonna go back and take a look. So the one I don't recognize actually is Nosdoromu. And if you're still in the chat and I haven't gone to your deck yet, please just comment down again and let me know. I just want to make sure that if you're still here, I'm going to take a look, and then if not, I'm going to move to someone else who is still in the chat right now. So Nos, Dormu. Let's take a look to see if that. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards here, and Your first team is also a really awesome team. I really like the artwork for this deck actually. So this character kind of reminds me of the movie Brave. Like this is what she'll look like when she grows up, right? And so I think that's really cool. I also really like the ultimate form here. So good deck overall. I think that using Kokopelli and your Sir Gallen Gawain is going to and with the Dame's skills, you're going to have no shortage of power gems. And Dojin's Axe, that's good. So I'm assuming you're using a Exultant Saber because that's what you got working to work with, right? And I just want to make sure that your Earth Commander, are you using both of them already? You are. Okay, yeah. So I think that's a good setup right there. And your Exultant Saber will increase it by 987. So in general, I think the only thing I would take a look to see then would be your Honor Relic. If you have an Honor Relic, this might actually be better. And since you don't, and you have two, yeah, this is perfect. I think this is a great team that you got going on, so I'm happy with that. And Dark Summoner Oriana. Dark Summoner Oriana. And hope I'm saying it correctly with the O. Dark Summoner with no space. Let's take a look. And has anybody put in more names? Yasmin, still me. Is Yasmin? Okay, so Yasmin. All right. And so let's take a look here. Hello? Hellboy? Hell no. What? Come on. So which one is it going to be? That one, I guess? Guild Avengers. Needs more oomph. Failed experiments. Why so serious? And pigs will fly. Waterfall. All right. So I'm assuming this is the team that you're looking at. So first thing I would do is change your leader. So I would change the leader to use Gallant Sir Gawain. And then let's take a look at the rest of your Earth Commander cards. So you've got the Reforged. So you got the Reforged Hippolyta, Kokopelli, and Gallant Sir Gawain. These will be the 3 cards that I would recommend that you keep on your team. Testera would help in a 3-key fight for heals. Although I think that, let's take a look and see what you have. So you have Armor Tank. That's one good option. You've got Gretel Sniping Falconer, so that would be the other main card I would use. So you also got the Mummy, but I think, and you've also got Sanet. So you've got a lot of good options here. And so in this case, what I would do is I would take out Minera's Prodigy, just because I don't think you really need a gem destroyer in this case. So you should put in your Kokopelli in the team, and then you should put in a you could choose. I think with the Mummy, it's a little faster to build up. You can get more power gems earlier, whereas Falconer, Sniping Hawk, I forget her name now. Let's take a look again. So Earth Commander. So Sniping Falconer, it does require 100 corrupt intensity. And so this is going to be a little bit slower, but you're going to get your gem destroying capabilities anyway. So you can definitely remove Minera's Prodigy and put those 2 cards in there. And then with your relics, I think mostly they're good. But then if you choose to replace a Brematon and Eleanor, then you don't need the Harbinger Partisan, which is a relic that only boosts technological characters. So that'll be my recommendation. Give that a try. All right. And so we've got Dino Chrono. Okay. I haven't taken a look at your cards. So let's do that. And let's make sure that I type it correctly. And Baby Lena, you're still there, so I will take a look. And so Dark Summer, I just checked that out. So hopefully that works for you. And 2 Excellent Sun. All right, I can take a look at that as well. Alex, my beginner's guide. It's one of those things where it's a matter of time, really. I do kind of go back and forth. Like there's a lot of things I wanted to do, and so it's not that it's not that I don't want to do it, but I also kind of feel like I'm not sure exactly what might be more useful at this point. So with the changes and sort of with what I've already been producing in my regular videos, not sure if there's anything that I'm missing there. So if you have some ideas, if there's anything you would like to see more, definitely please let me know. All right. And so we've got a slow deck here. So I can see you're using 2 mummies. And let me know, what do you think? How do you feel about this? So like, it definitely is a little slower, and I see you're using 3 corrupt relics here. And so I'm assuming that you have an initial one that uses 2 support cards. Okay. And then you have this one. I'm assuming you're saying nope. I think this is a good team here. No. It's just that with a single support card, it's going to be really, really slow to build up the Grail. And so what would I actually do? I think I might actually take out Masawu. Masawu creates 4 power gem ones, but using Hippolyta, you can actually create 2 additional power gem 4s. So that might actually be a better option there. And so you haven't gotten the event relic yet, and obviously when you get that, then you can replace the Exultant Saber with that, and I think this would be the right team. So I would change from nope to yes or nope to yep, and I would try getting a second. The second support card honestly is really worth it. I think that if you can get it in the first tier, great, but if not, I think that just I find that it was definitely worth it for me to spend the 750 100 gems, just because there's also a discount now. If you buy the pack, the second tier is a full price of 700 gems, but you get 250 back. So you do have 2 of them. So yeah, so I would take out Masawu and try it with 2 Gallant Sir Gawains and see how that works. All right, Baby Lena, I haven't forgotten about you. I think it's one word though. Baby Lena 2018. And let's see what we got. And hopefully by this time, with the feedback I've been giving to teams, to different people, you might also be able to build something very similar here. And so I'm seeing, let's see. So Kokopelli as the leader, that's fine. So Gallant Sir Gawain, I would like to see this be evolved to 6 stars as early as possible, so get your guildmates to help you out for sure. And let's see, so you've got a giant relic in here that's not needed, and you've got a Slayer relic here that's not needed. So let's take a look at relics. So I think in terms of teams, that's fine. So first, let's take a look at, so you don't have any honor, but you do have God. You have 1 relic for God, so I would put that in, even though it is a dark relic. It will do better than this one right here for your Snapdragon Staff, and it will do better than your Colossal Crusher. So it's not always about just putting a Earth relic in there. You want to take a look at the cards that it actually boosts and then use that to your benefit. And so you have 2 relics here, and sometimes it might even be better to put in a 4-star Dogen's Axe. All right, so you've had so let's just make sure we take a look, and if you have a Dogen's Axe, so you do have 1, but it's an Earth Ball, so you don't have that. So I think that's fine. Just replace the 2 relics in there and put in the relics I mentioned, and I think that will be good. All right. Oh, okay. So let's see. There are more, and I think there was another one. Okay. I haven't seen Cedric, Leroy, and Yasmin. So let's take a look at Yasmin. Wait, am I think I'm looking at the wrong person here. So Yasmin or Yasmin Low, if you're asking for me to take a look at your video, please let me know, and I can take a look. But Judge, so my pseudo Judge Red Guild Jackpot, is that the name? Or is it just pseudo Judge Red? What's your in-game name? I guess I don't really know. So please, Cedric, Leroy, please give me your actual in-game name. Right now I'm not sure which one it is. And so I'll take a look at Gary Royal's son's account though. So 2 excellent. Son with a space. Let's see. EXCLENTS. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. EXC2. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. 2XCLENTS. Son. And so let's see. So I see a combination. Okay, I guess I'm going to take a look at the collection first. So Earth Commander. And so I see 2 event cards and I see basically some under level cards that are 5 stars. And that makes sense as to why there were also some Slayer cards in there. So Jade Protector isn't going to be as useful. Winged Death will be okay. Guru Pachysep would probably be the one I would put in place because it does have a 7 times bonus and it's a gem spawner. And let's take a look and see what you got here. And you have Satyr Fun Root, that's good. So I would take out Rudolph. And so Satyr is not going to be powered by any cards right now. So let's take a look and see what other Earth cards you have in general. So if you're going to do a combination of the 2, then I think that then what I would do is I would take out Rudolph and I would put in Guru's Pachysep instead. And other than that, I think so put Guru Pachysep in there, and that might be better to take out Diona and put in Rudolph. So Rudolph will give you additional heal and also more gems. So I would actually then take out Diona and replace her with Guru Pachysep. So that's what I would do. Okay. And okay, so there is a lot more players there, and the person that Yasmu Low. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to take a look at 2 more. Apologies if I can't get to everybody. For those who have just joined me, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody right now. I just want to make sure that I go through the ones where people have mentioned it earlier. Yasmu Low, right? Yasmu Low. I don't see it. So I'm going to try one more time. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to get you, so I can't get there. The one other player that was asking earlier, let me just make sure that I don't miss that. Donna Colonel, Baby Lena, and let's see here. Okay, so I don't see that anymore, and so Spirit Enema. Is that right? Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. So I see a 5-star Satyr Firm Root. Otherwise, it's the similar team setup that I'm seeing. And so I think the question really is there a better choice than the Satyr Firm Root here? And so I see 2 Kokopelli, Undying Green Knight. So I would actually say in your case, I would actually try this. So instead of putting in the Satyr Firm Root at 5-star, because I think this one will create total of 8 power gems, but you're losing out on the commander bonus. And so what I would actually try to do here is put in Masao in here. It's 4 power gem once, so it's about half of the number, but it's a generation 3 card, and also you have a commander bonus associated with it. So Jacob Egan, that would be the card I would actually replace. So instead of this is the one case where Satyr isn't necessarily going to do better for you, so try putting a Masao in there. So that might be better. So Nkiko, where am I from? I'm originally from Canada, actually. So that's a little bit of information for you guys, and I'll leave it at that. But right now, I live in the Seattle area, and so for everyone else, I'm probably going to stop it at this point. If I haven't had a chance to take a look at your cards, and if I haven't been able to look at your cards in the past couple of streams, send me a note. Just send me a note on the network chat. Let me know your, let me know the cards you'd like me to take a look at, and I'll try and help out. Or you can also take a look, join my channel. I've seen some people join the channel now, and they've been asking questions, and hopefully you're getting the answers there as well. So hope you enjoyed this experience so far. And again, apologies if I can't get to everybody, but just really good to see everybody on here. Again, just some new names here. So T Martinez. So using part of the Sweet Vengeance deck. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take a look at your deck anymore, but feel free to reach out to me afterwards, and we can take a look at that as well. Okay. And Zion Supreme, hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. And so Alex, so you're kind of new to this type of game, confused on how you manage matching gems like that. And so one of the things that I have gotten a lot of questions on is just, how do you get the number of matches like I do? Or how do I do all of the number of matches in the 20 seconds? And part of it is practice, and part of it is sort of understanding the mechanics of how the matches work. So I am going to put out a short video on just how to do it. That would be a little bit of a tip and tricks video that I can do, so you guys can check it out. All right. And so let's see. So Yasmuel, I think I see you. It's all one word. Okay, because I've been trying to look at your cards and I haven't worked, I'm going to this is going to be my last one here. And if I can get it in, I'll look at this. And, to everybody else, sorry, but I was trying to get into Yasmuel's profile. So that's why I'm just going to take a look here. And, I see you're using 3 support cards. So keep in mind, using 3 support cards means that you'll be able to get to the Grail faster. So that is a good thing. But that doesn't give you more. It doesn't give you more power gems. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a look and see, because I see that you're using. Okay. So I think in this particular case you're using Alfonso, and I'm curious if that works for you. That's great. But you're using 3 of these, and you might not need to, because let me take a look again. You may actually, no, that's a good choice. So I think given what you have, the only other question I would have had is like, would it have been better to put in a, Eleanor? But honestly, Alfonso will create 3 power gem 4s. And if you're healing successfully with this setup, then I would say go for it, give it a shot. Really, like these decks, what I'm seeing so far, they are actually all pretty good. It's just like minor tweaks here and there. So give it a try and let me know. All right. And so just looking near the end here. It took me 7 days to discover that you can cancel the meter time. I see. Yeah, so there's not a lot of documentation, there's not a lot of information out there. So I that's why I started the beginner series, and but I started the beginner series a lot longer, like once I've already been in the game very long, so I forgot some of the things that people might need. So again, if there's something you think that you really would like to see, let me know. Okay. And so Joshua Davis, who won the deck? What won the name deck, and what was it? I don't know. I have to go back, and I will comment below after reviewing the deck names, and I'll let you know. Okay, I got caught up in taking a look at the cards, and I forgot. And if anybody has a nomination, feel free to let me know as well. So that's all going to be for today's episode. Thank you so much for the time. I was hoping to do a little bit more of the pushes, and you saw that I failed miserably in one of the legend bosses, and also I didn't get my overkill for the ultra kill boss. So I'm gonna go back and revisit that and give it a try. So again, thanks a lot for the time, and thanks for this chat, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good night.